Hey Muse Makers, welcome back here with Muse Paint Bar to teach you how to create the Icy Evergreens. I'm going to go over my materials. I'm working with an 8x10 canvas panel. You can work with any canvas size that you wish. Here is my palette for today. I am working with some red, black, yellow, blue, white, and a fluorescent violet. I have a water vessel for my brushes, and I'm working with 3 different brushes today. So we have ourselves our large brush for covering up our background. We have a medium brush for medium-sized things in our painting like the trees or the snow on the ground. And then we also have a small brush for all the fine details that we like to draw with. I also recommend grabbing some paper towels and putting that underneath of your water can just to dry off your brushes when you're ready. And also, I recommend grabbing something to mix up your colors on, whether it's paper plates or some cardboard or wherever you want to mix up some paint on. And definitely make sure you save those clothes. So if you have an apron or you have a t-shirt that you don't care if you get paint on, but make sure that you wear something that you're okay if you accidentally get some paint on it. All right, so first step, we're going to be going ahead and painting this bottom section in with a lighter blue and then adding some shadowing. This is going to be the icy area in our painting. So I'm going to be taking my large brush and I'm going to be mixing up a scoop of white and a half a scoop of blue. Then I'm going to split my canvas in half and paint the bottom half with this blue. Then I'm going to be taking my medium brush and I'm going to be going in some straight dark blue from my palette. Starting at the top of my ice here, I'm going to draw some dark blue in and then work my way down to have it kind of blend away. And it's okay if it's nice and choppy. I'm also just going to throw in little bits and pieces of dark blue throughout. Now I'm going to let that dry, and while I let that dry, I'm going to be working on the snow that's sitting right above it. I'm actually going to be lightening this light blue up just a touch by adding a little bit more white. And then we're going to go ahead and paint in a good 2 or so inches of this color above our ice. While that's still wet, I'm going to take my medium brush, nice and clean. I'm going to get some white paint on my brush, and I'm going to wiggle in some snowy little hills here. I want it to blend with that blue paint, just so we can get some different shades and gradients going on. I almost feel like I'm painting in little clouds. Speaking of clouds, that is what we're going to be doing next. I'm going to be mixing up a light pinky purple color. With my medium brush, I'm going to grab a scoop of white, a little scoop of my fluorescent violet, and a very small touch of red. So I have 4 clouds that are up here in my sky. My clouds like to be really thin on the edges and then really kind of big and bulgy kind of here in the middle. So thin and pointy on the edges and thick and fluffy here in the center. Some clouds go off the edge of your canvas so you won't get the other corner. So it might look like that. Got 3 clouds and 4 clouds. With my small brush, I'm going to be mixing up a darker pinky purple color. I'm going to grab another scoop of fluorescent violet, another touch of red, and a very small touch of black. This is going to be put on the bottom side of our clouds and then blended inward. So I'm going to start by just kind of dotting this in, almost like little dab marks, and then slowly work to dot and blend up into my cloud so that it starts to dissipate. We have some nice fun cloud texture. I want to do this to all my other clouds. And then I'm actually going to be taking some yellow paint, and I'm going to be just throwing a little bit of yellow on some of these edges. Almost like the light behind the cloud is shining just along the edges, because the sun, or whatever the light source is behind the cloud. Now that the first part of our painting is complete, we do need to let it dry before we do anything else. In the meantime, I'm going to show you around our studio. Feel free to give yourself about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll hop back in again to complete the rest of our painting. Once your painting is dry, we're going to go ahead and come back and cut out the icy shape that's right down here. It's going to basically show the reflection of our sky and the trees that we're going to end up putting up there. I'm going to be taking my small brush in white paint, and we're going to draw this out first. So it's going to start over here, maybe like an inch or two above the bottom left. From there, I'm going to kind of just wiggle and jiggle my brush over to the side. And at some point, I do want to kind of cut back towards the left and then just continue on over to the right. Try not to do such straight lines. You can make it lumpy and bumpy. And then on the bottom, I'm going to, again, lumpy, bumpy, just like that. So now I have this big open space. This is where I see the maybe ice has cracked and it's the water that is reflecting everything above it. I'm going to fill this space in with white paint. Now while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and put in some reflections in the ice with our small brush and white paint. I'm going to be drawing these little reflection lines, and they kind of almost look like trees in a way. So I'm just kind of like really lightly drawing in these little lines, these little dash marks, and they get thinner and thinner as I work my way up. So it has that kind of evergreen tree illusion. I'm going to put a whole bunch of these. I'll put a couple of dash marks down here below the little piece of water. I'm also going to be adding some more white along these snowbanks up here in the lighter blue section. Get some more defined hills. And now it's time for our trees. So first thing, we're going to figure out our tree line. Small brush, get it clean, get black paint. We're going to start by cutting into this snowy hill and giving it a little bit more shape so it's not just straight across. Wiggles, jiggles, you can make little dips here and there. And then I'm going to wiggle in some hill, little bits and pieces above, not making the land too thick or too high up in the sky. After you get it filled in, we're going to go ahead and talk about some trees. First thing, we're going to draw in all the trunks of our trees first. So these are just going to be really thin lines. So you want to use very light pressure on your brush. Don't push too hard. And we're going to make a whole bunch of these. You can make as many as I am. You can make more, less. It's really up to you. Once you have the trunks of your trees, we are going to be dotting in our leaves. I'm going to give an example here on this one. So I'm doing little dots, kind of going in a zigzag pattern. I'm staying pretty close to that center line. not going out too far, but you can see as I work my way down, I get further and further away from that line, which gives it that nice triangular shape, a nice evergreen tree. We're going to do that to all the rest of these tree trunks. Once your trees are done, stick with that black paint and the small brush, and we're going to be drawing a line to divide the snow from the ice. Then we're going to add a few tufts of grass into the snow, basically just flicking upwards in little clusters. Next, we're going to be coming down into the water part of our ice and reflecting the clouds down into it. So we're going to be mixing up a similar color, but a little bit more blue. So to the pink that we already have, I'm going to add a touch of blue to it, and we're going to get a nice periwinkle color. We're going to be putting basically one gigantic cloud down here. It's okay, it doesn't need to be 4 clouds like it is above in the sky. As we know, water distorts images that it reflects, so one gigantic cloud will be good enough. Now we're going to mix up a slightly darker purple with some more fluorescent violet and a little bit of blue, and we're just going to swish this in random places throughout this one large cloud. Then we're going to take some of this maroon color and add it in as well. We're going to switch to our small brush and get into some yellow paint to get the highlights on the edge of the cloud. We just have 2 more steps left. I'm going to be taking my small brush in black paint, and we're going to outline this water section in our ice. And then we're going to do the reflection of the trees in this water. So we're going to try and copy what is above here almost exactly. Again, this is in a section of water, so it may be a little distorted. Doesn't need to be perfect. And there we go. We have finished our beautiful Icy Evergreens painting. I am in love with this painting. I think I might actually keep this one instead of giving it away. And I hope that you love what you have created, and we would love to see what you have made. Feel free to post them on social media, and you can tag us at muse_paintbar so we can check them out. And I'm sure everybody else would love to see. They would be very, very impressed. If you did enjoy this tutorial and would love to see more from our channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out all of our tutorials and how-tos, and we'll see you guys again next time.